What's going on, everybody? KSA Kris here, Real Estate Blitz, and today we're going to be talking about driving for dollars. Really? Yes, driving for dollars. What is driving for dollars? So, real estate agents don't usually know about some of these topics I'm going to be talking about for the next week, but it's really about real estate investing. On the investor side, driving for dollars is a thing that real estate investors do to go out and try to find more deals. And I think the easiest way you could equate it to is sort of like door knocking, but not at all. It's actually a pretty easy concept, but there's a little bit of energy behind it, and it's a great way to try to find more deals with no money. All right, so driving for dollars, what is it? Long story short, you're going to go to neighborhoods, whether they're ideally, since you're a real estate agent, neighborhoods that have high turnovers. The homes are selling. There's a lot of homes selling every year. There's a lot of cash deals maybe in that area, and you can look all that up on the MLS. But what you're going to do, you're going to go and jump in your car, and you're going to drive and start looking in that neighborhood. Things that you're going to be looking for. You're going to be looking at all those homes, and you're going to start looking for homes that have some form of distress or deferred maintenance. Distressed or deferred maintenance. So what I mean, you're driving through. And I always talk about it's that one house. When you go into a neighborhood and you see that one house, that's the house that you should be checking out. So you're driving through the neighborhood and you look over and you're like, man, that roof is falling apart. Nobody else's roof is falling apart, but that one is awful. You should write that address down. You're driving through and you're like, wow, they have 3 cars parked on the lawn, and one of them, the engine is just like on the ground. You should write down that house. You drive through, you see another house, and there's literally like phone books and mail and all sorts of stuff stuffed in the door. You should write down the address of that house. So why would you drive for dollars, and what are you trying to accomplish? Great question. Instead of just viewing it as the homes that are turnkey, ready to sell right now, what we're talking about is trying to find potential cash deals or investor deals or deals that you could sell at a discounted price on the MLS. And in return, because you've been learning how to farm, or you have farmed real estate investors, you have cash buyers, you could sell that house quickly, and then eventually after the renovation, you could turn around and sell that house for an extended price. You could sell that house for what it's actually worth in that market through an investor. So you're actually going to get paid twice. Really 3 times, depending on how you look at it, potentially 4, if you do it right. So driving for dollars. As you're going through these different markets, so example, if you're in San Diego right now, you look at where the cash deals are, there's a ton of cash deals in like Lemon Grove. There's a ton of cash deals going on in Oceanside. So let's stick with those two. If I'm going to Oceanside, I'm going to jump in my car, I'm going to drive around. I have a book that's sitting right next to me, and I'm going through and I'm looking for that house. I'm looking for distress. I'm looking for deferred maintenance. I'm looking for properties that don't fit into the rest of the neighborhood, and then I'm going to write down their address. I'm going to come back to my desk. I'm going to do a little bit of research. I'm going to actually look it up because I have the MLS, and I'm going to say, okay, who owns this house? What's owed on this house? Do they have a separate mailing address? Is it an absentee owner? Is it a person that doesn't live in the house? Maybe they rent the property and they live somewhere else. You're going to try to find information. You can do that through the MLS. You can do that through your title company. You could do that through ListSource. I'm a big fan of ListSource. There's a lot of different ways that you could figure that information out. Once you actually do that, the next thing that you're going to try to do is write them. Send them a letter. Hi, this is my process. Yellow letter first. It's basically, I take one of these, a yellow pad. I sit down, I write a handwritten letter and say, hi, my name is Chris. I'm with Kim Steele and Associates, and I'm a local real estate agent. I was taking a look at your house, or taking a peek, however you say. I was looking at your house off of 123 such and such way, and absolutely loved it. Wanted to reach out to you to see if you're contemplating or thinking about hiring a real estate agent to potentially sell a home, or if you were looking to sell it for cash. We have a lot of buyers, and we also have cash buyers that would come in, buy it in its as-is condition, close on the day of your choosing, and will be able to close within 10 to 14 days. Please reach out to me. So I send a yellow letter first. After the yellow letter, I'm going to send a white letter, which is a professional letter. It's a professionally typed letter. It's going to have our branding on it, the Kim Steele and Associates, or KSA, excuse me. KSA branding on the top, and it's a professional letter. Then I'm going to send them a direct mail piece. Right after that, it's going to be and I have some around here somewhere. Hold on one second. I got some of these. Here, there. Here's one version of it. So this is there we go. And we actually have the cash buyers under here. We have our contracting broker, and then us. And on the back, it kind of breaks down. There we go. It kind of breaks down all the stuff that we do as far as our services. So it's cash deals, whatever it is. And then I'm going to put them on a direct mail campaign, and I'm going to start reaching out to them. Now, the big one is trying to gather information, as much information as possible, because you might even be able to come up on a phone number and just call them. If possible, call them. Another one is if after I do a driving for dollars and I find 100, 200, 300 homes, I will actually go out and sometimes I'll door knock them. I'll actually leave stuff, and I'll talk about this in a different one. Sometimes I'll drop Postit Notes. I'll put Postit Notes right on the front door. I won't tell you some of the more aggressive ones because maybe I will. Maybe I will eventually. I'll tell you some of the more aggressive marketing tactics that you could use. But this is why you do driving for dollars instead of a typical farm. When you talk about a typical farm, you're picking like 2, 3, 4, or 5 blocks. You're trying to whittle down those 3, 4, or 5 blocks, or however many, 500 homes, to how many years have they lived in a home, this and the other, and could they or could they not? They could potentially be looking to sell. Here's the thing. Instead of targeting a whole bunch of houses that are really nice houses in an area, why don't you actually go out and try to target distressed homes or deferred homes that have way more potential, potentially wanting to be sold? Now, I'm going to come back through in a different video and talk about, well, how do you get rid of that transaction? How do you sell it? What if you can't put it on the open market? What if they hate real estate agents and they don't want a real estate agent because they're going to lose too much money to have you sell it? There's a whole bunch of unique ways of actually adjusting people and adjusting that deal so you can actually get a turnkey home or have an investor create a turnkey home for you to sell it. But driving for dollars. If you want to know more about driving for dollars, look, it is all you need to do is like type in real estate driving for dollars in Google. There are a ton of really great podcasts on the investor side where you can look up driving for dollars, or I did a video before that talked about bigger pockets. Go out to Bigger Pockets and check out driving for dollars. There's a lot of great information out there. I'm a huge fan of it. It's something that investors do that it blows my mind real estate agents just aren't doing. And if they did, they would probably have like a ridiculous inventory or availability of turnkey homes, and they could potentially look to sell that thing 2, 3, or 4 different times on that one house. So that's what I'm talking about today. Appreciate y'all. As always, do me a favor, like, share, comment. Go check me out on YouTube. Check me out on Facebook. And be on the lookout for the podcast. I've been interviewing a ton of people, really, really cool industry folks that are running huge platforms and doing great things for our community. And that should be coming out here pretty soon. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.